So here's a Macho Man story for you. I was doing these shows in the Midwest run by a man named Ed Schumann. And Ed Schumann, when I did his shows, he kept claiming to me, I know the Macho Man. And he's like, I know him. And I told him about you. And here's his number. He wants you to give him a call. So I go, oh, man, that'd be great. So when I got home, wrestling ribs were a big thing. Yeah. So I thought, I'm going to call this number. Somebody on the other line is going to do a Macho Man. I can't be the only one who can do Macho Man. So I never called it. I ended up doing Ed Schumann's show maybe 5-6 times after that. And every time I would go, he would say, Macho Man said that you never called him. Like, I gave you his number. Call him. I go, yeah. I get home, didn't call him. So then, like the 4th time, I go, okay, let me just call him so that Ed Schumann can stop hassling me and I can get this rib over with. They can laugh at me. So I call the number and I explain, Ed Schumann gave me your number. And the guy on the other line kept going, he kept going, is that right? And I go, yeah. And I'm a big fan of yours. Is that right? Yeah, and I've been doing this thing on TV. I don't watch much TV, but Ed showed me on YouTube. It's pretty good. And I go, yeah, I'm a huge fan of yours. And it's like, this is an honor. Is that right? Well, me and my girl are about to go to get something to eat. I got to talk to you later. And I go, okay. And that was like, so when I do the next Ed Schumann show, I go, okay, I talked to him. He goes, what did he say? I go, I felt like I was bothering him. I'm waiting for like, we got you.
Yeah.
And that was it. He never said anything ever again about it. So then like 3 years later, I meet Lanny Poffo. Someone books me versus Lanny Poffo on a wrestling show. He's such a cool guy. And at the end of the day, after I wrestled him, I pull him aside. I go, can I ask you something? He goes, yeah. I said, do you know a man named Ed Schumann? He goes, oh, that's Ed Schumann. And as soon as he said that, my heart started pounding so hard. Like, oh my God, I said, okay, well, Ed Schumann gave me the number to Macho Man. I don't have it anymore. But can you find out if that was really him that I talked to? He goes, yeah, as soon as I get home, I'll give me your number. I gave him my number. He said, give me your email too. Gave him my email. The next day, I had an email from Lanny Poffo, said, yeah, I just talked to my brother. He said he talked to you once. He said you only called him once. He said he gave Ed Schumann the number to give to you, and you only called him once. And I wanted to cry. I found the number, and I called him 3 more times, but every time the conversation was like 10 seconds because he couldn't talk. He was busy doing, and I was so mad. You have no idea.
Oh.
Like, I just didn't believe that it was him. Otherwise, I would have asked, man. And then he passed away, and you have no idea. It was all because of people in the wrestling business. They play so many ribs. And I just thought I was protecting myself against like being made fun of.
Yeah.
There's no way to describe, Chris, how the feeling that I felt when I realized it was him. 3 times I tried to call and he was too busy to talk. But like I let that opportunity slip through my fingers because I thought it was someone playing a joke on me. It was.
Well, if anybody's going to do any sort of impression for a rib, it's Hulk Hogan or Macho Man. So I completely can understand why you might think that someone was pulling a fast one on you.
Yeah. But man, when I said the name Ed Schumann to Lanny and he right away goes, oh, before he finished saying right then and there, I just felt awful that I didn't believe, and I should have believed him. And here's the thing, Ed Schumann, he passed away too. He was a great guy, never played a trick on me. He was always so nice to me. He booked me on his shows at a point where I was having this imposter syndrome. Like he was like, there was no reason not to believe him. But I didn't believe him.
What do you wish you could have asked Macho Man that you didn't ask him?
Oh, man. There were so many things. So I enjoyed most of his heel stuff. as opposed to his good guy stuff.
Yeah.
So I would have picked his brain. I wanted to become better at wrestling. What advice do you have? There was one thing that I tried to do is I would have wanted him to hear me plan a match and tell me what was good about it. No, don't do this. Why do you do it like this? Well, and like, because the way his matches came out to me were all when he was the bad guy was so incredible. Like him, there's two people where I watch their matches and I think they're geniuses. Him and the other's Triple H. Like they don't have bad matches the way it's from a wrestler's standpoint, the way it's what we call structured and the way it plans out. It's always to me flawless. So that would have been the main thing I would have asked him. Can you hear me plan this match? And can you tell me what I shouldn't do and what I should like, man? And then I would have asked him all the fan questions. What was it like working with Sensational Sherry? I was a big fan of Sensational Sherry. I thought she was beautiful. One of my favorite moments was when she interviewed. There was a storyline where if Warrior won the belt, Savage wanted a title shot, so he sent Sensational Sherry to ask her, if you win, can you give Macho Man? Man, there was so many. Like, oh man, this was my childhood. And Bad Guy Savage, there was one thing that I was super impressed at, and I tried to incorporate little things like that when I was a bad guy. So he would make Elizabeth stand in a specific spot. He would like visually point at her, you stand here, you know? But then when things weren't going right in the ring, he would jump out. She'd be standing where he told her to stand, but he was mad that she was standing there. And he would make her stand in a new spot as if like, dude, you told her to stand there. What a dick.
Yeah.
You're like the worst person in the world. Like little things like that made you hate him. And it wasn't because of what was happening in the ring. It was because of what was happening outside the ring. And man, yeah, I missed the opportunity to talk to him.
Well, look, I know you're beating yourself up about this, but there's not too many other people in the world, whether their profession is wrestler or otherwise, who can say they've had any sort of phone call with the Macho Man, Randy Savage. So I think that's like a badge of honor you should be wearing.
It is. And later on in life, someone explained it like this. Think about all the people who get into basketball, let's just say who got into basketball a long time ago because of Michael Jordan, let's say.
Sure.
Okay, what are the odds of them becoming a successful basketball player? So slim to none. And then put on top of that the odds of them getting to work with Michael Jordan, the person who helped shape their love for. Like it's like capturing lightning in a bottle. They said you've captured lightning in a bottle. You've got to be okay with that. And yeah, I am.